Hello, everyone. As I'm full screen instead of small screen, how are we? Hopefully, all of yous are good. Again, that should show how much of a rush this has been for the last 5 minutes. But how are we all? Hopefully, all of yous are having a fantastic day, wherever you are around the world. Of course, welcome back to the COP Council. Welcome back to yet another match preview show. Of course, it is Spurs v Liverpool. As I did incorrectly put it earlier on, that again it was Liverpool v Spurs. No, it is Spurs v Liverpool. Of course, tomorrow 4:30, of course, at the London Stadium or the Spurs Stadium. I think London Stadium is the West Ham one, isn't it? But still, it is Liverpool tomorrow playing at 4:30 in what is going to be a tough game. It will be a very tough game tomorrow for Liverpool. Looking around it, of course, Arsenal winning tonight is big in that side of things. Of course, Liverpool, again, have to add, upon that lead that again we did get a couple of weeks back. But of course, obviously, Arsenal winning, Chelsea we will be playing before us again tomorrow as well. So look, Liverpool need to get on the winning side of things, and again, a win against Spurs, considering the likes of Chelsea have already beat them this season as well. I think Arsenal, I think I've also beat Spurs this season. So again, Liverpool need to do the same as our rivals at the moment. Anyway, but let me know how all of you are as well in the chat. Hopefully everyone is good. Hopefully everyone is well as well. Saying Gaosan saying Crystal Palace are atrocious. Yeah, look, I watched the first half, turned it off for that second half. I think was it 5-1 after chat as well. I think look, Palace awful, absolutely awful performance anyway. But yeah, full screen con in the building. To be fair, look, we was designed properly to be live at 8 o'clock, and then it just went completely downhill. It did 100% do that anyway. But again, we're live. Anyway, it will be about 15-20 minute preview, of course. Anyway, it's not going to be a long one because I said that would be it for today. Anyway, but again, speaking of Spurs, then I want to talk briefly about Spurs. And of course, I've got Spurs being Spurs as the headline. Of course, Ange Postecoglou, of course, the current Tottenham manager. Again, you look at their fixtures this season, you look at how they've been so far this season, certainly in the Premier League, 7 games won, 2 draws, 7 defeats in all competitions, of course, obviously it's in Europa Leagues. Of course, we play them in the League Cup semi-final as well. So again, on that side of things, they've done pretty decent. And I think a lot of people would have the same sort of opinion on Spurs in terms of, again, in terms of the entertainment value. Spurs have definitely been one of the top teams in the Premier League this season. But when you do look at their certain games and their certain fixtures, only Spurs could go 2-0 up against Chelsea and then end up losing that game in the fashion that they did. Even the Manchester City game, them winning that game, was it 4-0, and then kind of going on a losing streak in terms of the Premier League. I think again they lost to Bournemouth and they lost to Chelsea as well. So when you do look at that, you go, this Spurs team can definitely be got at, because again, defensively, again, not the best. Even midweek in the League Cup quarter final against Manchester United, again, were they 4-0 up, I believe, at the time, or 3-0? Was it 3-0? Chat? I think no, it was 3-0. They were leading. And then defensive mistakes again. I say defensive mistakes. They were goalkeeping mistakes from Fraser Foster that did allow Manchester United back into that game. Which, again, when you take into consideration on tomorrow, again, Liverpool will be doing again a high intensity press. Which again, you do look at that and you go, could Liverpool do the same as what Manchester United did? Absolutely, that could be the case tomorrow evening. But I do think Liverpool overall will be 100%, going at it tomorrow again, considering again pretty much the first team have been rested midweek against Southampton. You would assume Liverpool are going to go for it tomorrow anyway against Spurs, and rightfully so, because look, it is a must-win game for Liverpool. I think, like I said, in terms of the title race, but again for Spurs, obviously with City losing again of course, they could, in theory, if they were to win this game, they would go 1 point behind Manchester City, which is mental. I do think that is a mental stage of things. But I think, of course, Ange, I think, has put a bit of pressure on himself, certainly at Spurs, because again of his comments saying again like Spurs should be, or at least I win in my second season. And when you come out and say things like this, it does put a lot of pressure upon you in terms of again getting over the line and trying to get that win over the line. But I do think with Spurs, look, do I think we'll lose to them in the League Cup? No, I don't. Again, could they go on to win the Europa League? 100% they could. I think Arne Slot, of course, in the press conference was very complimentary in terms of Spurs, and again the achievements that again they are achieving at the minute with Ange at the helm. But I think at the minute it is very much the case of Spurs' defense is the biggest liability in that team going forward. They can score goals. We've seen this. Again, they've got Son, they've got Solanke, Kulusevski, they've got Madison. Again, they've got a great attacking threat, in that Spurs team. But I feel like, especially, certainly towards the Liverpool game and even in the League Cup game, I feel like even if we was to concede 2 or 3, Liverpool could go on to score 5, 6, 7. And that's the way this Spurs team is at the minute. It's very much like Liverpool 13-14, when Liverpool pretty much were just all out attack. And if you scored 4, we'd end up score 7 in that regard as well. But look, I think for Spurs, I think obviously tomorrow will be huge in that sense, but I think for Liverpool it's much more important because again, look, it is a must-win game for the Reds because again, Arsenal winning now tonight, 3 points now is the gap. Obviously, Liverpool do have 2 games in hand on Arsenal, but again, it does put the pressure on because again, look, it is points on the board. Liverpool again need to get the victory now to be able to, again, push us on a bit more. Of course, obviously we've got this game. Again, we've got very, very tough games coming up over the next week or two, considering again we got Leicester and Anfield on Boxing Day. We've also got West Ham, Manchester United as well coming up as well. So again, if Liverpool can have a good run now going into the new year, and of course, extending it through the new year, again, we don't have to necessarily think about other teams. Then I do think Liverpool can very much get away with, again, focusing on ourselves and being able then to build from that. But of course, it all matters. This game especially, I think, is a must-win. If you want to go on to win the title, if we're going to be talking about Liverpool being Premier League favourites, Liverpool have to win this type of game. Because it's there for the taking. Spurs defensively are shocking, and I think Liverpool have to win this game to be able to win the Premier League title, 100%, in my opinion, anyway. But they will have the great Fraser Forster in goal. We will score. I do think that, but I also have flashbacks to Fraser Forster for Southampton against us. That's a problem, and I think many people will remember that Fraser Forster as well, that came to Anfield. And I think we ended up having like 22, 23 shots against that Southampton team in that day, and it ended up being 0-0. Which again, I think at that time, I think we were trying to qualify for the Champions League, wasn't we? So like, I do believe Liverpool need to, again, we don't need to batter Spurs, but if we can do that, then great. But if it was a 1-0 win, I would not care, and as long as it is 3 points. Anyway, but Hero says, evening, how's the games gone today? Saw the second Villa goal, and it was a beauty. Yeah, Spurs, Villa beat United. Jesus Christ, my head's all over the gaff. Villa beat City, which again, them now. I think it's 9 out of the last 12 or 13 they haven't won. Which, yeah, it is ridiculous for Manchester City. I think it's their worst form in 18 years, I think it is now. So, yeah, long may it continue. I don't feel sorry for Manchester City. I know I've seen people on social media saying, "Oh, you got to feel for this City team." No, you absolutely don't have to feel anything for this City team. At the end of the day, they have one player out injured at the minute, in Rodri. Yes, it's Rodri and it's their system, and it's, they've got pretty much the heartbeat of that team taken out. But again, it's one player, and I know people go, oh, they got Ruben Diaz out as well. Again, but the majority of this period, they have had one player out. Liverpool, when we had 7 games in a row where we lost during that COVID season, again, we had our whole defense out. We had, what, Jordan Henderson and Ozan Kabak playing centre back with each other. That is going through the trenches. Just having a single player out in Rodri doesn't do that. And it's not only that as well. Look, this City team, I think, is done. And I do think that. I think that this current Manchester City is done. I don't think you can, even one or two signings, I don't think can just change everything. And again, now, even if Liverpool were to win tomorrow, I would definitely then consider them out of the title race. I would completely, and and again, people go, it's Manchester City, this and the other, but you have to, for me now, again, the only title challengers in that, if Liverpool win tomorrow, for me, at Arsenal and Chelsea. Chelsea more so than Arsenal, considering the results. Of course, Everton could beat Chelsea tomorrow, but I feel like if Liverpool get the win tomorrow, again, it is then a 3-horse race at the minute in terms of Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal. I do think then City are out because the fact that Liverpool right now are 9 points clear of City with 2 games in hand. Liverpool can go 15 points clear of Man City. If we win all of our games, of course, again, that's a massive indication of where their hopes are this season, of course, anyway. But Siro says, a bit crazy if it's down to missing a single player. Gotta be more to it. Yeah, no, of course there is. Like I said, they do have, again, a few odds and a few injuries here and there, but nothing major. I know that Ruben Diaz now, I think he's out now for 3 or 4 weeks. But the majority of the time of it, they've had their team. They've still got Kevin De Bruyne, they've still got Bernardo Silva, they've still got Kovacic, they've still got Phil Foden, Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland, I think, has scored 1 goal or 2 goals in his last 10 games. Like, that's unreal. When you hear things like that, but. Again, look, I think overall, I would say if Liverpool win this, again, you can cancel them out for the title. You can probably do it now, but I think being, what would we be? We'd be 12. Yeah, we'd be 12 points clear with a game in hand. Against City, that is uncatchable. For me, anyway, it'd be uncatchable. But again, who knows? Do you think Slot will start Darwin? No. I don't think he will. Again, I got my starting prediction, but again, let me know your guys' thoughts. Could the other Manchester team finish above Pep's one-man team? I'll have a look now, to be fair. Who do United even play tomorrow? Do they even play tomorrow, or do they play Monday? They play Monday? No, they play tomorrow. The Bournemouth at home. If United beat Bournemouth, they go on 25 points. So they'd be 2 points behind City. When you consider how bad they have been in terms of Manchester United, then yeah, it's a very interesting one, isn't it? I do think that is interesting, to be fair. Anyway, but again, who knows what we could see anyway. But again, let me know your starting line predictions anyway, chat, and your score predictions in the chat down below anyway. But this is my starting line prediction for tomorrow. I'm going to go Alisson in goal, Trent right back, Gomez, Virgil, and Robbo. I will bring Robbo back in. I know Robbo and Costas are fit to go, but I do think it will be Robbo. Hopefully a redemption game for him from last week, of course. But again, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, that will be my midfield 3. I think you will need legs in the midfield tomorrow because again, it's Spurs attacking threat. You lead, and again, I also think when we spoke about it earlier in terms of Fraser Foster, I think if you're looking at anyone that can get the ball and just have a shot from 20, 30 yards out, Dom Szoboszlai is your guy in that direction. So I think, again, starting him would be great. And then front 3, I've gone Salah, Diaz, and Gakpo. I think Wednesday was a real indication of Arne Slot and what he wants. I think Darwin Núñez again might be down the pecking order. Sadly, I think Diaz, I think, will be starting. Gakpo, I think Gakpo came on, didn't he? Or he got taken off to rest up as well. So I think, look, for me, that would be the front three. I think Mo Salah getting a rest as well midweek will be huge. And yeah, I think that'll be the front three. Mo Salah, Luis Diaz up top, and Cody Gakpo on the left-hand side. For me, anyway. I predict a 5-4 win, Con. I don't like that, Ozan, because simply every time you've gone big on a certain prediction, every single time Liverpool end up drawing. So I don't like that, to be fair. But big up Damo as well, saying hopefully Fraser Foster is wearing slideshow Hobbs boots again. Hopefully he is doing that. But I think one thing as well, I think Spurs as well. I think looking at it and looking at the predicted team as well, that's also been going around on social media for Spurs. Again, they have no fit centre halves available. Looking at the predicted team for tomorrow, again, according to SofaScore, it looks like they're going to start Archie Gray, not Damari Gray, Archie Gray, sorry, and Dragusin, I think it is, as well, of course, the centre back they signed last season. Them two centre back pairing, that's a rough going centre back pairing. To be fair, anyway, but look, it will be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. But that's a nice attacking team. Should be a crazy open game. After 70 minutes, we will put a few on them. Yeah, I think, look, the Liverpool, I think, of course, Spurs will start out like they have done so far this season. They'll come out firing. I think that's Chelsea game especially. I think once, obviously, the slip from, I think, Cucurella, I think him doing that, and then, of course, Spurs' confidence build up then in that first half. I think Liverpool have to stay in the game in that sense. But if anything's to go by, like last season, for example, Liverpool and Spurs was probably the two most entertaining games, home and away. When you looked at it, of course, last season away to Spurs, Liverpool got robbed. Everybody knows this. Where, of course, VAR had his moment. Of course, that them lot would like you to forget about it. But I don't think we are going to ever forget about it. But yeah, of course, you've had that game, of course, the 4-3 as well at Anfield last year as well. So again, tomorrow will be a very entertaining game. I think everybody can have an easy bet on that. But I think overall, Liverpool need to, again, just iron out that storm that's going to come out in the first half, and then we all know Liverpool's second half and Arne Slot have been a much better team as well, and I think that will be the case again tomorrow. Anyway, but did they rest anyone for this game the other night? No, they absolutely didn't. I'll tell you the lineup that they put out against United. So they ended up putting out, so if I can quickly get the game up on here. So their lineup was Fraser Foster, Pedro Porro, Dragusin, Gray, and Spence, Sarr, Basuma, Kulusevski, Madison, Son, and Solanke. So they literally went full out against Manchester United. So again, they will be struggling for sure, but can't see us having to break down a low block. Ange Postecoglou doesn't have that in him. True. To be fair, I think if any manager in Europe turns around and goes, yeah, mate, I don't care about tactics as long as it was an entertaining game, that screams Ange Postecoglou. 100% it does. And look, I think for him it is genuinely all about just like having an entertaining, fun game. I think he doesn't care about results. But again, if you can win, if you can be entertaining and win trophies again, that will be, of course, a huge positive. I think anyway. But I'm glad we will have Maka back in the Prem for this one as well. Yeah, 100%. I think Maka, especially last week against Fulham, I think we missed him. And again, even in other certain games, we've missed him. But of course, him being back now fully, I think obviously now the next time he gets a book in Obviously, it'd be 2 games, so he has to be a bit careful about bookings. To be fair now, but that's a good quality. It's a game for the fans. Yeah, 100%. I would agree with that. 100%. And Maka will be rested. Ozan as well. 100%. Yeah, well, he's only played. Did he play full 90 against Southampton? I can't remember if he played the full 90, but again, he should be raring to go. So Bosley has been doing well in recent games. Yeah, I think. Look, I think for me, I think that's probably the main question probably with the team is who do you put in the midfield, because again, Liverpool have a fully fit team. We have a fully fit squad at the moment. You've got, of course, we've got only Ibu Kanate and Conor Bradley are injured. Arne Slot confirmed this on Friday that Liverpool have a legitimately full squad apart from them two. So fully expect to see a bench of Diogo Jota, Federico Chiesa, Darwin Núñez. Also, you've got Curtis Jones on the bench. You've got Harvey Elliott. You've got Wataru Endo. Again, Liverpool have got options. And that's great. It's really, really good to see, of course. So look, I am more than happy to watch Liverpool destroy Spurs tomorrow, and that will be brilliant if we could do that as well. But Talio being Liverpool will smash Spurs. Núñez to score again, says Gary. Hopefully you're doing well, Gary, as well. Ozan says true as well. United TV, hello mate, how you doing? Saying a big up mate. Just keep it tight and wait for Spurs to gift you the goals. Well, hopefully mate. Again, look. I hope Liverpool can do that tomorrow. Fingers crossed. But Ozan says Diego, Harvey, Darwin, and Chiesa as game changers off the bench. Yeah, and look, you could have a lot worse, couldn't you? Coming off your bench, realistically, anyway. But look, I think for tomorrow, my prediction is 3-1 Liverpool. I'm going to go 3-1. I think it will be a very open scoring game. I think Liverpool will get the job done tomorrow. Fingers crossed. I touch wood, of course, but yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1. I'm gonna go Mo to get 2, and I'm gonna get Dom Bosley to get 1 as well. And I think, look, tomorrow again, even if it was just 1-0, I would not care. As long as it is 3 points, and again, it's advantage us then in terms of the title race. That is all I care about. Tomorrow anyway, but no, not 5-4 Ozan, absolutely not. I'm not going for that, no chance. Yeah, we were poor, still scored 3. I think this might be high scoring. To be fair, you were gifted 2 goals. I can't, you watch it and to be fair, it's good from Ahmad, and I can't remember who the other goals scored by, but yeah, again, well, if it wasn't for your goalkeeper, to be fair, then maybe potentially you might have won that game. But Spurs to score, but probably lose. In my guess. Well, yeah, I think. I think. Look, Spurs. I think Spurs are just one of these teams that literally can. They could in one game score 9 goals, but end up conceding 10. And they could, and that's not to fill your prediction either, but they could, and that's the type of goals that they give away, stupid goals. And again, I don't think Spurs, even a fully fit Spurs, I don't think keep clean sheets, and that's a problem. That is a problem for them. And overall, probably when you look at it again, when you look at Spurs and how they can improve, again, that is the main thing. But then I think if you ask Spurs supporters, who would you swap or who would you bring in? I don't think at the minute they would take anybody out of the back 4. I think when you speak to, or when I've listened to Spurs supporters, and they've mentioned again, they like Pedro Porro, they like Mickey van der Ven, they like Christian Romero, they like Udogi, but again, even with them keeping a clean sheet, or them with their full team, sorry, I don't think they can keep clean sheets. But that's just me anyway. I don't think they can do that. Anyway, but again, I might be wrong in that sense anyway. But look, as long as they don't keep a clean sheet tomorrow, I'll be overwhelmed. The fact that Liverpool can absolutely batter them tomorrow, fingers crossed. Anyway, but exactly my point. Spurs gift goals, Chelsea United, etc. Yeah, 100% as well. But they want attackers. Do they need them? Do Spurs need attackers when they've got Solanke, Kulusevski? I would say they need an upgrade on Maddison. I think Maddison is the one that, again, I've never rated Maddison. He's very much an up and down player. On his best games, he can be unbelievable. At his worst, god awful. And I think a very Spurs player in that sense. But I think for me, if you're going to look at anybody there, I do think they need a replacement for Son though as well. Like, even though I think at the present moment in time, I think Son is a very good player. I just think that, long term, they do need a replacement for him because he is 31, 32 now, I think, Human Son. Feels like he's been there for like 10 plus years, isn't it? So he probably has been there for 10 plus years now anyway. So, look, I think for them, they need a replacement like that. But for me anyway, I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool tomorrow and hopefully, again, extend that gap at the top of the Premier League table anyway. But I think they are missing a 6, a left wing, a right wing to compete. I think they need to. Again, I always go back to that Spurs game, that Liverpool Spurs game when they beat us 4-1 at Wembley. That game was the turning point for both teams. Liverpool saw that game. We went out and bought Van Dijk in January as a must. Same with Alisson, a goalkeeper we knew we needed in that sense. Spurs never did that. Spurs never went out and bought the next best, or like the players to push them forward. They always settled for like the B category, and it never worked out for them. And I think again, if they'd been different, if Spurs had gone for game changers in that sense, then who knows where Spurs would be right now. I think their trophy doubt would be gone, to be fair. But again, that's not backing certain people at certain times. Again, Pochettino, was Pochettino ever backed heavily? No, he was never. Again, apart from, of course, you could turn around and say Ndombele was a signing that was meant to be, a backed up for him. But again, Daniel Levy and so on as well. But there was Maddison, a bit like Grealish. Yeah, absolutely 100%. Their onus stinks. Yeah, 100% they do. I would 100% agree with that. Anyway, but guys, I am going to leave it there for tonight. Big thank you for everyone for tuning in to tonight's show. I do very much appreciate it. As always, apologies we was late as well. Again, we was meant to be live at 8 and we was live at 10 past, so apologies for that. Of course, tomorrow we'll be live straight after the game for a post-match reaction, so please stay tuned for that. Of course, if you are new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. So hopefully I'll see all you guys there tomorrow for the post-match reaction, then I should say. Anyway, and of course, look, if you guys are watching on the repeat as well, and again, have your guys say, then please do let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below, because I'm very intrigued to know your guys' thoughts. Again, score predictions, start lemon predictions, then do let me know, because I know some people, I know lots of people do watch on the repeat as well. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts down below as well. But until next time, guys, that is going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.